Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Today I want to address the Enzo Fernandez Mason Mount spat that went down in the middle of the field at Stamford Bridge during Chelsea's enthralling, emphatic 4-3 win against Manchester United on Thursday night. Look, I know that Thursday night football in Europe, it isn't quite as glorious as your Tuesday nights in the Bernabeu, your Wednesday nights in the Nou Camp, but there's something quite nice about watching Chelsea play on a Thursday, get a good win, ride that wave on a Friday, Premier League football's back on a Saturday, and Chelsea play again on a Sunday. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking 4 out of 7 days in the week that we can kind of be riding Chelsea waves. I like it, and I want European football back at Stamford Bridge, whether it's Conference League, Europa League. We're not getting the Champions League, so don't worry, I'm not going to waste the breath there, at least next season. So, let's go for it, Chelsea. Pochettino in his presser, he said that if we win all of our matches, we're in Europe again next season. He's absolutely spot on. Will we do that? Probably not. Can we do that? Yes. So let's get gas for it. Hit the like button on this video and subscribe if you are new. Check the link in the description if you want more content from me, my vlog channel, my girlfriend and I. We do it all together. It's fun. The link is down below. So, Enzo Fernandez and Mason Mount on the field at Stamford Bridge, squaring up to one another. It's not the kind of fight that's going to get you barred from the bar when you're already in the bar. Someone's going to be like, hey, settle down a little bit, mate. But on a football field, I think this is valuable. I think this is necessary. I think a lot of what we saw between Mount and Enzo has died from the game. People are a little bit too soft in general these days, to be quite honest, not to make this anything about the current state of society. That's the recent video I've done on my second channel, my vlog channel, but not quite the state of society, but you know what I mean. Like, people are very, very soft. So seeing this on the football field, when I think about it, I'm like, yes, Enzo. And then I also think about the other side of the coin, which is like, well, what did you actually say? Because there's still so much ambiguity about the exit of Mason Mount from Chelsea. So, with Enzo Fernandez supposedly, reportedly saying coward and the other C word that I'm certainly not going to say here on this channel because I'll probably get demonetized and I quite need the pennies to get myself back to Bali. So Enzo Fernandez calling Mason Mount a coward. Does this provide some idea that maybe, as we don't know everything about the Mount exit, maybe the Chelsea players know that maybe Mount was looking at the project and thinking, this isn't going to be for me. I want to be playing the best years of my career, not trying to strive to get somewhere, but I just want to be there already. I'm a Champions League winner. Why would I want to stay and fight around in the mid-table for a couple of years until we could potentially get good? That's one way that you can read into this. Another way that you can read into this is simply that tensions were running so high in a rivalry, in a massive clash, in the Premier League. It's an incredible game of football. It's high-octane stuff. And Enzo is an Argentinian who, without stereotyping here, there has been a history over time of Argentinians versus English players, and there being some animosity. There being a little bit more left on a tackle or a little bit of, let's say, violence in the words that we use towards one another. There's a massive history there between those two countries. So, what am I looking into with this? Enzo Fernandez, first of all, I want to see this more. I want to see players who are clearly fighting, clearly feeling something a little bit more than just, right, we've got 90 minutes today, we get paid at the end of it, go out there, give your all. There's so much more to football than that, and Enzo is showing this in the way that he has confronted Mason Mount on the field. Second thing though, I will say this, 107 million Enzo, you still haven't quite been that yet. So let's just make sure that if we're going to be using our mouths to spew things towards opposition players, we're also backing it up with what we do on the field. Mason Mount did win a Champions League for Chelsea, was very good for us for 4 years. So as much as some people might hold up shirts with Judas, I'm not quite going to go down that path of extremity, although it's not really that extreme. I understand it. I get Chelsea fans. I know why we feel as though Mason Mount is a traitor. You don't want to see players that have clearly been top players for you leave and go to Manchester United. I get why the club did it, 60 million. It's a lot of money. Now, how did Chelsea build on this performance, not performance, result against Manchester United? In yesterday's video, I clearly talk about how Chelsea didn't play very well. We did capitulate at times during the game, yet we showed a mentality to shift the capitulation back into something positive, predominantly from Cole Palmer's genius, brilliance, excellence. So Sheffield United poses a completely different challenge for Chelsea. It's a challenge because there's enough data this season to suggest that when Chelsea play up against big teams, our players are seemingly more up for it. And as well as that, you could argue that there is a little bit of an arrogance about Chelsea, that when we play against your Nottingham Forests, your Brentfords, your Burnleys, teams that Chelsea haven't beaten this season, or we have, but not every time we've played them, Chelsea seem to look at the lower sides and not get up for it as much as we do the bigger ones, which is obviously, in the Premier League, credit to Pochettino for calling this out this week too, you can't do that in the Premier League. Every match is going to be difficult. Sheffield United went to Anfield, gave them a really difficult time until the final 20 minutes of that game. Liverpool won it 3-1, relied on some insane goals to win the game. McAllister, it's a screamer that he scored. But Sheffield United caused them problems. They've got Chris Wilder back now, and they're not relegated. It's looking as though they've been down all season. They're clearly the worst team in the league. They didn't recruit very well in the summer. They got rid of some of their best players. But this is not easy. Don't get me wrong. As much as I'm still cruising, surfing, riding the wave of Chelsea beating Man United, I know that we didn't play very well. And I know that there is going to be some tired legs out there from the shift that we needed to put in. Going to Bramall Lane. This is going to be tough. However, I've got a Chelsea team and I've made a couple of changes here. Pochettino will change things because he'll see a window of opportunity for certain players to maybe build some confidence back. I'm talking here about, I'm sure, I don't want this, so I'm not going to say it when I build my team, but I'm almost certain that Raheem Sterling starts this game against Sheffield United. Pochettino will see it as an opportunity to rest maybe Mudrik's legs, Jackson, I don't know. And he'll also see it as this is the bottom team in the league. We need Sterling at the end of the season. We've got a cup semi-final coming up, big games to get into Europe. We need this guy back playing. I understand that. I just personally wouldn't do it. We begin with what I would do. Petrovic in goal for Chelsea. The more that we hear Sanchez is getting closer to a return, the more I'm going to sit here and tell you Petrovic is my number one goalkeeper. We move into a back four. And as you can tell, from what you can see here, I've made some changes. Thiago Silva is back in the Chelsea fold. I've gone with Gusto. I've gone with Silva, Disasi and Cucurella for this trip to Bramall Lane. I think Badiashile for me has been the weakest link out of all of the back line. And I think Thiago Silva, you've got to look at Chelsea's defensive issues. We're conceding so many goals, be it 2, 3 against Man United. We've got to change something here because the Disasi-Badiashile partnership isn't quite working. And I think Thiago Silva, as much as he slows things down, I think if there is a game to bring him back in and kind of try and make that a bit more sturdy in the back because it has been so poor, then this is that game. That's what we're going for. Gusto, he came off towards the end against Manchester United, but I think at the moment it is just managing his legs. You've got Chalobah who can come on and do a job at right back, but I think you've got to go with your strongest team. It's about respecting the opponent and trying to get the match won as early as we can. And then with the quality that we have, then think about resting players as the game goes on. Cucurella, I thought, didn't have the worst game against United, but it's kind of like he's either looks brilliant or he looks awful. So it's bang average in the middle, 5.56 out of 10s from him. We move into what's going to line up here on this screen as a midfield 3. I've taken Gallagher out of my starting 11. I didn't think Connor was bad at all. He obviously scored in that Man United game. And you would say, if ever there was going to be a player whose fitness will probably be back and ready for a game like this, it would be Gallagher out of that midfield. But I am going to keep Enzo and Caicedo in there. I thought Enzo was important. I think Caicedo, for the way that he plays and the job that we're expecting him to do, for Chelsea to get continuity, you can't drop Caicedo from this team. He's obviously going to be such a mainstay for many years, and we've got to get the most out of him. So for me, Enzo and Caicedo stay for that very reason. Kane Chukwuemeka comes into my midfield. And people are going to be rested. And I think Carnes deserves the opportunity. When you look back to prior that injury, even during that game against West Ham, Carney was excellent. Bloody hell, the camera is starting to overheat here, so I'm going to start holding it now. Carnes was brilliant during that game. And I think he's going to need to be given opportunities. He deserves it. Almost scored against United. Won the corner in the build-up to the goal that won us the game. So for me, Carney Chukwuemeka is in the team. Moving into my front three. Cole Palmer is just an absolute nail-on. Doesn't matter if he's got one leg available. This bloke plays for Chelsea. He's the best player. He's a magician. He's a genius. He is absolutely golden. Nicholas Jackson through the middle as well. Look, I'm slowly becoming a fan of this bloke. If he can start scoring more goals, he's not done badly this season at all. If he can start getting more, then I'm even bigger of a fan of Nicholas Jackson. I love the work. I love that he gets back and does defensive work. He's always running. Jackson plays, and I keep Mudryk in the starting 11. I think Noni Madueke coming off the bench is definitely a thing right now. I would still start Mudryk because this is the Mudryk issue. He gets a run of games and then he gets taken out again, even when he's not playing badly. He wasn't awful against Man United. Keep him in the team. God, I look absolutely knackered. I do feel a bit rough today, guys. I'm not going to lie. But keep Mudryk there. I firmly believe, and I've been pretty good at my starting 11 predictions this season and getting things right, I expect to see Sterling start from Pochettino's side. But my preference would be, as I whack the mic, keep Mudryk in the team. That's my Chelsea 11. Do I think we're going to win this game? Yes, I do. I think we go to Sheffield United and we build on this Man United result. I'm going to say 3-1 Chelsea. I think it's good if we can go down from 2 goals conceded to 1. That's an improvement. Still scoring. I think Palmer's going to score another 2. And I think Jackson gets on the score sheet in this one also. Got to be careful. Sheffield United, they may be the worst team in the league, but they're not a bad side. They're not. No Premier League side is a bad side. Chelsea to get the job done. Poch to keep building this relationship with the fans. That is an important one here. We've heard him talking about it post that United game. We saw he had his moment with Chelsea fans, and I'm happy for him. A lot of people in yesterday's video didn't watch the video. They just commented saying, oh, back to the Poch slander. No, I'm just simply saying if Chelsea would have lost to Man United yesterday, we'd have all been absolutely gutted. We'd have given away a 2-goal lead. It doesn't look good on the manager. Cole Palmer saved him. It's just facts at this point. Just, yeah, please watch the videos in future before commenting if you want to actually, you know, have... I'll pay attention to the comments, but like, if you clearly didn't watch it and you're just being like, oh, back with the Poch slander, not quite that, was it? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you for all of your comments. Thank you for all of your likes and subscriptions and everything that you do here on the YouTubes. I'll see you guys later. See you tomorrow.